Hey Bestie, it's Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to use the Dollar Tree garden stakes to craft. I love these things. They're so versatile. So here I've got one, and then I've got this like kind of key hanger type thing that I had at home that I wasn't really using anymore. And I think it's just because it's kind of plain. So I'm going to use my tin snips, and I got these on Amazon. They're an awesome tool. I love them. You can cut through so many things with them. Anyway, if you're interested, I usually have all my tools down in my Amazon store. I'm going to start cutting this apart, cutting off the stakes at the bottom until I get just two of the little sections together. And now I'm cutting off the part where they connect to each other, because obviously you can put this around a little garden bed. And so I've trimmed it up, and I'm going to make it even better, but right now I just want to make sure this is going to fit. Now I'm going to take some black zip ties, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this in about 4 different places to make sure it doesn't move at all. And then because it's black, and once I trim off the zip ties, you won't even notice them, and I'll trim them really small. Now here's the thing, I won't tighten this until I know I've got it in position, and then I will go back and tighten it, because if you tighten it and it's not right, it's just a pain. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut off the edges, and I'm going to add 2 more of those zip ties because I want to make sure this is just super, super secure. I think zip ties are a very underrated tool. I love them.
I don't listen, I don't pay no mind to what everyone says.
So there we go. It's nice and secure now. You can see how this is going to look. And I'm just going to snip off those extra pieces. Now you could leave it just like this, and that would probably be just fine. But of course, I'm going to do more. So first thing, I'm going to put a little hanger on the back with some of my rope or twine, and then a little bit of hot glue, and then a very, very small piece of masking tape that you won't even see. I'm going to take some greenery. I got this greenery at Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut off all the little pieces, and I'm just going to start placing it around those little points that are in that design. And I think that just looks super, super pretty. I didn't want to put the greenery down below where we're going to put things or hang things because it could get in the way. And now I've got these gorgeous purple flowers, and I'm just going to take off little flower petals or buds, whatever, I guess. Actually, just the flowers. I'm going to take them off and put them up on the top. I think this came out beautiful. I love it. Oh my gosh, it's so simple, but it's elegant, and it would go with so many different styles in your home. Let me know what you think. For this Dollar Tree garden stake hack, I've got another garden stake, which I am going to cut again. So I just have the 2 pieces of the section. I'm also going to cut off the extra pieces on the ends. And I've got 2 silver or tin flower pots. Now you can get these at Dollar Tree. I think those 2 came from IKEA, but you could get them just about anywhere. Walmart has them. Wherever you find the best deal, that's where you should get them. I had these in my stash, so I'm going to use these. So now I'm just taking out the excess pieces of the garden stake that I do not need. And then I'm going to stand it up, and I've got the 2 pots, like I said. And what I'm going to do is I could drill holes in that, but I just wasn't in the mood to do that. But you certainly could, because then you could do zip ties. I'm going to take my rope that I have from Walmart, and I'm going to hot glue it around the bottom and the top of each of these pots. Now I did, pull it around and make sure I had enough, and I cut 4 pieces. And so what I'm going to do is then tie it on to the garden stake. See what I'm doing? So this becomes part of the decor, and it's functional in that it will attach itself to the garden stake. And I thought the look of this was really pretty. And so that way I have something that looks beautiful, but is also functional in terms of attaching it. So again, you can drill those holes and use a zip tie. No reason you can't. But this worked perfectly, just so you know, because I did do it in 2 places, so it's very, very secure. So I'm just going to knot it. I did both of them, and then I will cut off the excess on the back. I also did some hot glue underneath the knot before I cut off the excess, just to make sure that it was very secure. And I put a little over the top too, because I do like to do that. Now I'm using this inside. If you were using this outside, you might not want to do hot glue. You might want to do like E6000, something that will hold up in weather. This is going to sit in my house, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to add a hanger in case I do decide to hang it. Right now I'm using it on a shelf. It's just sitting there, but you never know. I might change my mind and want to hang it, so I use some rope and hot glue and some masking tape and put a hanger on. Now I'm going to put some plastic bags in just to kind of fill up the bottom because I don't want to use all of my Spanish moss to do that. Actually, this is reindeer moss. And so I'm going to put some on top. Now, if this was for like fall or winter, I would probably use the Spanish moss, which is more brown. But since it's still summer right now, I'm just going to use the green moss. And now I'm going to cut up some lavender picks, and I'm just going to place them in there until I get a look that I like, some taller than others. And that's it. I think this one is stunning. I'm very happy with it. It might be my favorite today. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if it's yours. For this Dollar Tree garden stake hack, this is so easy. I've got a garden stake piece that only has 2 of the sections on it. I'm going to cut off all the extra pieces around the edge. And then I've got a metal napkin holder from the Dollar Tree. And I thought this would be such a pretty way to decorate a napkin holder. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one in half because I really only need the width of just one of those little pieces. So I'll go ahead and cut that with my tin snips, which I love for cutting these kinds of things. They're not hard to cut, but the tin snips just have a better blade than a pair of scissors. So that's why I do it. Plus the grip is easier to use. I'm going to take some plaster chalk paint from Waverly, and I'm just going to brush over the top so it looks like it's distressed, but you can still kind of see the black peeking through. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the silver of the napkin holder because I don't think I want it to look silver. I just want to get rid of that shine. And so I'm going to go ahead and just put that paint all over it. Now I'm going to put a hanger. I'm not sure why I added a hanger because I don't really think we would hang this up, but you know what? I went ahead and did it anyway. That's just what I do. And so because I'm always worried I'll forget and I'll wish I did. So you don't have to add a hanger if you don't want to. I just did it. So there's my hanger with a little bit of rope, hot glue, and masking tape. And now I'm going to set the garden piece inside of the napkin holder, like up against the back of it. I'm going to take some zip ties. I'm going to use the white ones because I painted this white, and then I'll go over them with that paint just to kind of get rid of the color that they are and make it look like it blends in a little bit more. But you see how I set that inside there. So I got a position, tighten them, and then cut out the excess. And see there, I'm going to go back and just kind of put a little more paint over the zip ties just to kind of make it blend a little bit better. Once there's napkins in there, you won't even notice. That's the thing. So I've got this gorgeous flower, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it right at the top with the leaves still on it, just to give it a nice little color and just that pop. I love it. I love that pink. So beautiful. And then I add some extra Dollar Tree greenery that I had around the edges just to make it not so, the flower is rather big, and I want to make sure that the balance was there for the greenery. You can add as much or as little as you want. This is to personal preference. Again, just for inspiration, you can do different flowers, different things, different colors, whatever you want. There's really no right or wrong way. It's just based on your own decor and creativity, whatever makes you happy. And that's it. I love it. I think it's perfect for napkins. I guess you could put other things in it. You could put mail in it. I think I ended up deciding to use mine for mail. There it is. And I thought, that is so pretty. That way you could hang it on the wall. I think that's what convinced me to go ahead and put mail in it instead of napkins. But whatever you want, you can do. For this Dollar Tree garden stake hack, I've got a garden stake, and then I got this picture that I picked up for $3.99 at Hobby Lobby with 75% off clearance. I've got a video coming up where I show you a bunch of things I got for 75% off from Hobby Lobby. Oh my gosh, great deals. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the staples around the back, and that's where my handy dandy heavy duty staple remover really came in handy. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pull the paper off the back, and look, more staples. But the good news is that this one just pushes right out at this point. So just carefully, just kept going around and around until I got the whole thing out. Now, isn't that dog cute? It was very scratched, and that's why the thing was probably 75% off, but that's adorable. Anyway, I've got this scrapbook paper that I got at Hobby Lobby, and it's got like a kind of white shiplap look. So I turned over that piece that was in there, and I'm going to use my purple glue stick so that I can see where I've actually put the glue. And then I'm going to put that scrapbook paper over the top because that's going to be the new background for this particular picture. It takes 2 pieces, but it was just the right width to cover the whole thing. I'll just have to trim off some excess, and then I can add another piece and trim that off and make it look like it's just one continuous piece of scrapbook paper, hence the wood shiplap. I love that look so much. It's so clean and fresh, but it's also farmhouse. It can go modern farmhouse, it can go traditional farmhouse, whatever you like. So I'm going to use my brayer just to flatten the whole thing out and make sure it's adhered nicely. Now I'm going to cut off the excess with my blade on a cutting mat, and that way it'll be nice and clean. I think I need to change my blade because I'm looking at those edges and it looks like it's time. So now I'm going to put the picture back in, but the opposite direction, so the doggy's on the back. I'm going to put some glue and attach it that way. And now I'm going to start cutting my garden fence. I'm just going to cut off the inner design. Instead of those pieces that go around it, I'll be cutting off for 2 pieces that outer part to show the inner. You'll see what I mean here in just a second. So it took a little while, lots of cutting. I used my tin snips and also a little nipper thing, and then I got it the way I wanted it. I put some hot glue on the back and I just set it right inside. Now I am going to move the hangers because it was at the top, and I'm just going to mark some spots where I need to put the little screws, and I change the hanger to the other side, and I use my square just to find the center. And that's it. I think this is very elegant, very pretty. I could have put florals or greenery on it. I chose not to, but you certainly could. I wanted to keep it very clean. So what do you think of this one? Ready for more inspiration? Here's another video I think you'll really like. If you click on it, I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye!